So it looks like I just caught up. Let me make sure I got. Oh wow, Pocket Colson. And problems it's not this hard, but okay. Talk while I'm doing it. So I'm in an even round. DeMarco Murray. Well, cool. Got done just in time. Let's see how clear of a choice he was. Wow, so he was a pretty clear choice between where he was or the next drop off was. I mean, look, the difference between DeMarco Murray and Chris Ivory, who's never done anything before, is pretty substantial. So it helps you catch a lot of those type of mispriced ones. Oh, so you probably can't see this. So one of the things I like to do, this is why I waited to do this, probably take a little longer. I like to select all these, just right click and hide, and you'll have the next draft position. Wayne, how did I do that? Oh, I got extra T in Matt Ryan. 48. I got to put in my pick. I make that mistake all the time. Okay, 49. Eddie Lacy. Odd rounds, even rounds. This is a odd round. This is Russell Wilson. I like that pick. Russell Wilson. Now, also be smart because Russell Wilson is a little bit debatable there. He's not that better than the tight end, but I already have a tight end. But the other thing is this is a 12 quarterback league. This is based on IDP. Sorry, ADP. So if there's not that many people who don't have a quarterback, you don't need to reach for him. It's going to tell you to pick someone because of ADP. It can't tell who. This is just Excel. It can't tell exactly how many slots you have. So it may say a quarterback's going to be taken, and it may not be taken given that you don't have that many teams in your league. But for 10 and 12 player leagues, you should be pretty safe. I'll just warn you, like if you have knowledge, depending on where you're picking, it says to pick a QB. This guy doesn't have a QB actually. Let's see if there is something. So like, if this tells me to pick a running back here at 70, I don't need to do that. Like I can be smart enough to look at these two players and see that they are loaded with running backs. Probably one of them needs a wide receiver, one of them needs a tight end. They may pick another running back, but the likelihood is lower. Or since they're going to pick two running backs, the likelihood is really low. So just keep that in mind as you're drafting. So I'm gonna apologize. This is gonna be a little bit longer. We usually go faster later, given that half the people start to pick auto pick. This is also the point where we can go over a couple of the other features, hopefully. Team mix. Well, that's what I'm taking. Cool. So right now I am 6th place. A lot of these people, I'm guessing, have quarterbacks, so that's the big difference. So the difference between me and this guy is he has a quarterback. And it's just a positional difference. So this is still a little early to check. Oh, hold on, I have Russell Wilson. I'm going to pick up Russell Wilson. Did I forget to put him in again? I sure did. This Hakeem Nicks was picked 58. Where did I pick Russell Wilson? 51. Sorry. I told you I do this all the time. Just copy, paste. There we go. And now I'm the best team because I have my quarterback. And there'll be other teams, obviously, that do better because they don't have their quarterback. Where was I? After Hakeem Nicks is Le'Veon Bell. And it's good to use the either the autofill or the drop down option in this, just because and you can type it all the way in. There's no point in doing that besides like not using the autofill. The point is this uses exact names, like you can't misspell Jordy Nelson, so those show up. So like here, you could just pick them from the list if that's easier for you, but I find just typing them in is usually easier if you're familiar with the names, but it's also good to practice with this tool. It's also good to practice with the school because you get better with the names. Owen Daniels. Okay, so I'm going to change the point factor for tight ends to 0.2. So it tells me to take Bradshaw. Cool. There are times with just my running backs and it still tells me to take Bradshaw. So I'm going to take them. So I already have a QB. So point factors I'm adjusting will reduce the importance of these people. At this point, though, I do need a wide receiver. So I'm going to tell them not to show tight ends. So Greg Jennings, not bad for a second wide receiver. Cool, that's how that works. So right now it's saying Shane Vereen is a bigger advantage. Where I'm going to be. Going to be in an odd round. So he's going to be the biggest advantage. But it's a 0.1 advantage. And I've reduced the factor in half, but at this point I have 3 running backs. So this is how you account for positional need. You say, hey, you give each, and you do that by adding in those factors, which uses the value-based drafting, and it reduces their importance. So it's still saying keep Shane Vereen, but given I'm going to reduce this to even 0.25, and it's saying promo, and I don't need QB at all. So I draft Greg Jennings, so I'm going to draft Greg Jennings. And then now that I have 2, I can normalize this somewhat. There have been no problem picking Shane Vereen there. That could have been technically a better pick. I really like Shane Vereen this year. But the advantage wasn't going to be huge, and it's better to fill in that spot. If you look at how my team's constructed, I do have some running back risk, so it is good for me to pick deeper in running back. But I also have, Marshawn Lynch. Like a lot of those positions are pretty safe, especially tight end. Between my Bradshaw and DeMarco Murray, I'm pretty much always going to have an RB2. So really, I'm playing for a flex and wide receiver position, and you just want to make sure that's where you're getting your depth at. Like I don't want to get a ton of depth at quarterback because I have a quarterback that's going to be solid. What was going to go quick. So I'm not going to talk, but I'm going to try to get this updated as quickly as possible. But everyone's on auto pick, so it's going to be rough. Those who don't know, go back and forth between its Alt Tab. Hold on and press Tab. What a retarded pick. Alex Smith is ranked. So I don't have Alex Smith ranked, so things like that happen. He won't show up. Eventually, I'm going to get much more depth in here. But right now, I don't rank defenders because I don't care about them. Or defenses, sorry, rather. That's your personal preference. Okay, so I'm in an even round, so who I need to pick is Andre Brown. I like that pick. Let's get more valuable with this. He's a pretty big lift, not huge, but it's big enough given that I'm using a 0.5 factor if I were a 1 even more player. So I'll go ahead and draft him. And the other good thing is, like, I'm pausing right now, but in a real draft, I go very quickly because it throws my opponents off. And the fact that you're able to use that speed, the same speed as an auto picker almost, in a live draft is really valuable. Cool. So, given where I'm at with RB, I'm gonna lower it all the way down. I don't need a tight end. I'll put one on the waiver wire, but I'm not gonna show tight ends, and I'm not gonna show QBs, and I'm just drafting running backs and wide receivers. Oh, Ronnie Hillman. Ugh. I really like Ronnie Hillman. But odd rounds is going to be Kenny Britt. So Kenny Britt wasn't taken, but I'll update it just in case. 49ers. Franklin. Cool. So this is Kenny Britt. Typically on this slate, I'm tracking purely upside. So obviously, other people left. I think Kenny Britt has more upside than all of them. But I wouldn't have a problem taking Lance more. Who, given my team, may sometimes be a better pick. So just be conscious of that. Like, if you have a lot of high risk wide receivers, which I consider Greg Jennings somewhat high risk, and Julio Jones can get hurt. Sometimes it makes sense to reach for something more stable like a Lance Moore, who you know you're going to get a little bit of value for. But my thought is I always like to swing for the fences because at the end of the day, I'm not playing to come in third or fourth or fifth. I'm usually playing for first. I'd rather be last or first. Everything else is sort of the same between first and third. Pay structure. That is more difficult than easy. The other thing I'm going to be going back to, I just saw Chris Gibbons reminding me, is making it deeper, but also putting my sleepers, putting them a little higher up so I can make sure I grab them. From what I see, picks have been so, have been so clear. Like, oh shit, I forgot his name. 99. Oh my god, the helmet's still there? You're kidding me. Ooh, ooh, ooh. That is a crazy pick this late in the game. Okay. So I'm pretty solid on running back, so I think we'll always need more. Maybe 0.1. I like Latin. Yep. So a couple of my guys are coming through. At this point, just in the interest of speed, so 5 bench spot. So I'll still stay with it. A lot of times when I'm this late, I'll just put a lot of those people in my queue. Let's see where I rank. So right now my team's number one. And this is based on my rankings, so obviously it should happen. Who is this? They must have been terrible. So they don't have an RB3, which is really why, but they have a pretty crappy team. So my team's number one, and obviously this is based on my ranking. Even what I believe, my team is the best team I've drafted. But that's really all you can hope for. Blackman's ADP 160. I'm going to look for him one. deploy. So let's see. I'm going to switch this back to one. Not by much, so not too upset there. So at this point, I'm just going to send them all to the queue. This is what I do. Let's see some wide receivers. No, at this point, it's just faster for me to type in the people that are on my list. And I'm going to go through that. So, oops, I do want to see that. I don't want to see running backs. Floyd. Roberts. Harvin. Who knows if he's good and he will take a bench spot, but I need to drop him if I need to. I'll say Heartline. He was better. So I have two bench spots. I'll say one for Harvin. Let's see if I can get a running back. Love to stash running backs. No. Create advice. I'm doing this. Push. Nope. And I'm even if I figure my back from this would be keeping that. Okay, Tom. What they do. So, oh, wow, so, I'll draft him, I'll draft Harvin if I can. Oh, and then let me see defense. Make sure. Well, that's the gist of the tool. You can see I'm probably going to draft one of these players. If not, I'll draft someone that's my last pick. So, rather than making this video too long, thanks everyone for hanging with me. As you know, you can find this tool on fantasyfootballdraftrankings.com. Thanks.